One, go. Hello, everyone. I'm Cheyenne, and in this section, we'll be talking about the transformative potential of these green school programs. Green schools can be transformative. This is evidenced by positive impacts we found throughout all of the programs. First was the emphasis on how important long-term student involvement is, which ties in with how these programs have transformed the cultures of the schools. Encouraging and integrating these green initiatives into the curriculum helps students be engaged in sustainable practices long term, fostering a culture of eco-consciousness. Next, we found that many green schools talked about the importance of getting the staff and faculty on board with these programs, with many teachers stressing that having the support of the entire school helped make a giant difference in implementing changes. These combined bring us to our last similarity, which is how they were all able to grow in environmental practices. With the integration of green initiatives into the curriculum, the changes in school culture, getting students involved long term, and having the support of all the staff and faculty, these schools were able to grow and flourish, transforming the schools into green schools. Next, Kristen will show us some notable transformative findings.
Hi, I'm Kristen. The first notable finding is that there is no one way to be green. We found that there was a diverse outlook on sustainability throughout the programs or awards that were evaluated. This ranged from different projects promoting sustainability to different ways sustainability was intertwined with curriculum. The next notable finding is the program or award's ability to have an impact on students as individuals. A student at Yosemite High School was able to transform into a sustainability leader at his school with the help of the Green Ribbon Award. At a ceremony in his school, the superintendent at the time spent a few minutes with him discussing worms, and that focus gave the student confidence. The teacher we interviewed from Yosemite High School stated that the student said, "He spent 15 minutes with me. He was asking me questions." The teacher then went on to say that this transformed his whole life. He used to be a recluse, and after that, he'd be in class trying to be a sustainability leader, working with students. This is just one of the many examples of the transformative potential of the programs covered today. Next, Haley will discuss some of the challenges we've seen between all of the programs.
Hi, I'm Haley, and I'm going to be discussing challenges and regional differences. A difference that was found in all programs was the funding. The NOAA Ocean Guardian program would be given stipends to schools up to $4,000 in the first year to 3 years. And during the fourth year, they would give $2,500. And within the fifth year, they would receive $1,000. Even though Green Ribbon Schools and NWF did not provide funding, it does create a true willingness to want to achieve green practices. Some regional differences looked at were Contra Costa County, Southern California, and Central Valley. Contra Costa County, quote, "Implementing green practices has rather a slow process. There seems to be a large disconnect in the mentality of people in this community. It has been a lot just to get people to consider recycling, putting locks and gates and security cameras everywhere instead of investing in mental health and environmental sustainability." At Sonora High School and Mark Kemple High School, based in Southern California, have a high focus on litter prevention and conservation of natural resources. Both schools have air quality sensors on their buildings and successful paper recycling clubs. The schools do not have any official green certifications, but they are implementing their own green practices. In the Central Valley at Yosemite High School, it is mentioned that it might be hard to gain support to implement green practices because part of the community does not find green practices to be important than others do in their community. Yosemite High School was able to get their Green Ribbon certification, which shows that even though they thought it would be difficult to implement green practices, they were able to achieve it. Next is Jahira.
Hi, thank you. By doing this project regionally, I found the equity gaps in the Ocean Guardian School program between the Monterey and the Santa Cruz County schools. For example, when we zoomed in on Calabasas Elementary School, They are currently starting a band balloon on their like the Pacific Grove Middle School did back in 2016, which was extremely successful. The Pacific Grove students successfully took their project to their school district and to their city council, and balloons are now banned in Pacific Grove. Calabasas Elementary School is currently undergoing this project, but when looking at the school program's differences and county differences, what are the biggest challenges on following through with this project at Calabasas is the lack of community involvement, cultural limitations, and most importantly, environmental awareness in their community. These equity gaps also appeared in green ribbon schools, like at the Yosemite High School. Their instructor said, starting from a really different place is just hard when others are doing the same at a much higher level. So it's already hard and it's much more difficult doing similar projects when in comparison with neighboring school districts. For instance, this graphic below explains our school systems. The first picture is equality. Everybody gets the same amount of resources. But some individuals can't look over the fence, like the little boy on the right there. The middle graphic represents equity, in which some schools get more resource because of the higher needs in order for them to be successful, in order for them to look over the fence. And the third picture there is a systemic program in which the fence is broken down, right? Currently, our California schools are all in the first and the second picture because in order to break down the fence, it is a system-wide fix that is above the schools and the districts. Lastly, I would like to finish off with Calabasas quote that says, "The support of the community is the support of trying to make changes to the environment in a below poverty level community." Thank you.
We found consistent supports that help schools be green. They include collaboration, partnerships, and supportive school culture. Below are a few quotes from the interviews we conducted with various schools. They essentially state how collaboration and partnership play a key role in implementing the awards to the programs we covered today. Additionally, we found that implementation of green practices within a school creates a strong bond or culture between student and faculty. Next slide.
We therefore recommend that we find more ways that programs can promote and support collaborations, potentially through the use of incentives. These incentives can be on the district level or throughout a whole school. Additionally, incentives for collaboration and partnerships would be beneficial for the implementation of the awards or programs discussed. We also recommend that we find a way to extend programs like the Green Urban Schools Award into higher education. Currently, the California Department of Education does not have the capacity to give higher education institutions the Green Urban Schools Award, so this is a place for improvement. And this could even extend onto the other programs or awards discussed today as well. And now Cheyenne will help conclude our presentation.
Thank you. So to call back to Kermit, the final lyrics of "It's Not Easy Being Green" are, "I'm green and it'll do fine. It's beautiful and I think it's what I want to be." Which, even though it may not be easy being green, we all have the potential to be green. And deep down, it's what we want to preserve our planet. Next are our acknowledgements.
Lastly, we would like to acknowledge all the schools, the program staff who participated in the interviews and supported our work. Thank you.
And we would like to thank our class for all of their hard work, and also Dr. Victoria Durr for all of her support as well. Thank you and have a great day.